and currency confidence collapses, and in the corner of the screen, barely visible unless you pause and zoom in, is a date, January 2026.
January 2026, 1 month before the unrest begins. This is the setup. This is the cause. Economic collapse, resource scarcity, loss of faith in the basic systems that hold society together. And then in February, people take to the streets. But why? What specific event triggers the transformation from crisis to chaos? The Simpsons gives us the answer in a 2012 episode. In this episode, there's a brief scene showing the presidential seal. It's displayed on a screen as if being broadcast to the nation. And beneath that seal are words, Emergency Powers Act, effective immediately. Emergency powers. This is what The Simpsons predicts happens in early 2026. The president, responding to multiple simultaneous crises, declares a state of emergency and claims powers that presidents have never claimed before. Powers that fundamentally alter the relationship between government and citizens. Powers that millions of Americans see as unconstitutional, as tyrannical, as the moment when democracy dies. And that declaration is what triggers everything else. The protests, the unrest, the violence, the complete breakdown of the old order. Because Americans on both sides of the political spectrum have been conditioned to see emergency powers as the line that must never be crossed, as the moment when resistance becomes not just justified, but necessary. The Simpsons has shown us this scenario play out across multiple episodes. In some, the emergency powers are justified as necessary to deal with economic collapse. In others, they're presented as a response to civil unrest itself, creating a circular logic where protest justifies crackdown, which justifies more protest. In still others, the emergency is linked to external threats, to international conflict, to the need for national unity in the face of danger. But regardless of the justification, the result is the same. America in 2026 becomes something fundamentally different from what it was. The constitutional order that has existed for over 200 years transforms into something new, something that some people welcome and others resist with everything they have. And this transformation doesn't happen peacefully. The Simpsons has shown us the violence. In a 2015 episode, there's a montage of news footage showing American cities in chaos. This isn't played for laughs. The tone is dark, serious, almost documentary-like. Buildings are burning, people are fighting in the streets, armed groups are confronting each other. And the news anchor narrating over this footage says, Day 30 of what historians are already calling the Second American Crisis. Day 30, 1 month into the chaos that begins in 2026, and the phrase Second American Crisis is significant. The first American crisis was the Civil War, the event that nearly destroyed the nation, that killed more Americans than any other conflict in history, that required complete reconstruction of Southern society. And The Simpsons is saying that 2026 brings something comparable, something that will be remembered as the second time America almost tore itself apart. But here's what makes this even more terrifying. The Simpsons doesn't just show us the crisis, it shows us how it's resolved, and that resolution is perhaps more disturbing than the conflict itself. In a 2018 episode, there's a flash-forward scene set in what characters call the New America. The imagery is dystopian. Checkpoints on highways, surveillance cameras everywhere, digital IDs required for basic transactions. And one character says to another, "Remember when we used to be free? That was before 2026 changed everything." Before 2026 changed everything. This is the key phrase. This is what The Simpsons has been trying to tell us, that 2026 is not just a crisis year, it's a transformation year. It's when America as we know it ends and something new begins, something with more control, more surveillance, more restrictions on liberty, all justified by the need for security, stability, order in the aftermath of chaos. And the show has given us specific details about what this new America looks like. In multiple episodes, there are references to restricted travel between states,